Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. In the last video, we got captured by King Dalton. Well, the self-proclaimed King Dalton. And we were held prisoner on the Blackbird, Balthazar's plane. And we had to bust out, get all our stuff back, get Epic back, and kick Dalton's butt. We're never seeing him again. Meanwhile, we need to look for Crono. And there's only one place that we can go, but if you go around here to the commons, you'll find more people to talk to. And you weren't there before. This mysterious sapling. Maybe someday it will help change our environment. This is the woman in Zeal Palace who had the sapling that Zeal told her to burn. And because we told her not to burn it, it's growing again. Keep this in mind for later. I saw a suspicious looking person up north on the Cape. We'll have to go there. It's the only place we haven't really gone to where we have done anything. Gee, seeing you has really made my day. Not sure why, but alright. Maybe it's because we saved Melchior. Gotta seize the day. You already told us about the Moonstone. Hooray! Hooray! And a purple cat. That's Janice's cat, believe it or not. That's Alphador. I think that's the cat's name. A stranger trying to locate someone passed by after you left. We didn't really leave. We got captured and thrown in a plane against our will. That's not the same as leaving. No one had ever seen the person who came looking for you. Could he be a friend of yours? Glad to see you've all recovered. We're slowly recovering. We've got to start from scratch. Well, there's only one person that I think might be looking for us. It can't be Shala. It definitely can't be the Queen, otherwise we would have known it was them already. And there's only one person who's it's gotta be. There's a sparkle at the Cape. If you walk to it and press A, Magus. So, it's you. Magus. Behold, everything's at the bottom of the sea. Gone is the magical kingdom of Zeal, and all the dreams and ambitions of its people. I once lived there, but I was another person then. A dimensional warp. This power is beyond human control. No! We'll be dragged into the warp! Shala! No, Janice! Stay away! But why is the cat orange? It's a time gate? No! T'Challa! Janice! This is... Hey. Nothing here. This must be the end of time. So, thou art that filthy urchin! Magus was Janice. You probably saw that coming a mile away when Janice mentioned the Shala in our first visit to 12,000 BC that the Black Wind howled. That was similar to something Magus said before we fought him. Plus, blue hair, ton of purple. He's wearing quite a bit of purple and purplish colors now. Makes sense. Ever since Lavos' time portal stranded me in the Middle Ages, I have waited to even the score. You interrupted me just when I had summoned Lavos to my castle. Magus finally explains himself. How ironic that, having been drawn into yet another portal, I would end up in this age. So while we all got sucked into 65 million BC, he ended up back home. But he couldn't go back to the way things were, given what happened to him when he was a kid. The same time period where he was disappeared from, much like Melchior, Balthazar, and Gaspar, that he would probably draw suspicion to himself if he showed up as he was. So I'm guessing he kind of had to be the prophet in order to get closer to his mother, Queen Zeal, as well as Lavos itself. It was the only way he could get revenge and make sure he could do it, since he somehow miraculously made his way back home. Being from the future, my knowledge of the past enabled me to convince the Queen that I was a mighty oracle. Refer to what I just said. But no history book could have prepared me for what happened here. Unimaginable is the power of Lavos. Anyone who dares to oppose it meets certain doom. At this rate, you too will meet a hideous fate, just like that poor fool Crono. At this rate, it becomes obvious that Crono's dead. You dare to insult him? He's history. Play with fire, and you get burned. Magus, hold thy tongue! You wish to fight me? Now, at this rate, as soon as he said, Crono's dead, you fool, or the equivalent thereof, those were fighting words. Things are getting heated. His theme's playing. We can fight him. It can make us feel good about ourselves. But it's not going to accomplish anything now, is it? No. Vanquishing thee will never return Chrono nor Cyrus. Okay, fine, be that way. Now, interestingly, if you did fight him, you would fight him to the finish. And compared to the first time around, he would be a lot weaker. And if you defeat him, you defeat him for good. Like, you kill him. He's dead. And I have a bit of a gamer confession to make. I did it once, and I couldn't bear to play any further. And now, you're going to see why as soon as I walk away. Wait! I'll come with you. I mean, you kind of have to. You have more walk cycle animation frames than the usual NPC. I mean, you just showed us that right there. Come on, man. Treachery! You know, there might just be a way to bring him back. Also, your name is not all caps. That's another clue right there. Nonsense! Gaspar, the guru of time, knows how to restore lost or misplaced time streams. Are you telling us that Crono was not supposed to die? Am I getting to think so? And this is why I could never bear to defeat him. Because you can play as him. You can name him whatever you want. 5 characters max. We're going to keep him named Magus, so press start. And he is now in the party. Oh, look! There's a scythe for his attack weapon, physical weapon symbol. We saw that at the shop earlier. Let's go ahead and put him in the party. Now, Magus starts at level 37. He starts with the Dark Scythe, the Doom Helm, the Raven Armor, and the Amulet. The Amulet protects status. That protects him from any and all status ailments. He also has pretty good strength. Obviously, he has really good magic and really good magic defense. His strength is up there with Crono and Aillet to start. His stats are pretty good. Also, he has shadow magic. As a matter of fact, he has all the magics. Let me explain. He has Lightning 2, Ice 2, and Fire 2. And we need 400 tech points to learn Dark Bomb. Dark Bomb, you may have seen him use it if you hit him with Shadow. Like Shadow spells like Robo's Laser Spin. Or Antipode 2. Or Antipode 2. During the battle with him in his lair. Whenever he attacked with Shadow Magic, he would attack with this. And that was during the first half of the battle. He also attacked with Dark Matter at the second half of the battle. And spoiler alert, that's the last spell that he learns, Dark Matter. And that does a lot of damage. You really want to use him. Now, here's the thing. Unlike all the other characters in the game, Magus only has single text. He does not learn dual text or triple text with any other people naturally, because he is a completely optional character. There are times during some of the things you can do from this point in the game where Magus does have his own dialogue, but he is a very optional character. All the character development and everything you learn from him, you learn before this point, and you pretty much know what he wants to do now. And he's just strangely independent, about 95% independent of the rest of the characters in the game. However, we got the Black Rock. Guess who the third person is who can use Black Rock? Now here's the thing. We still can't use it yet because we need dark matter. In order to use that spell. So even if we have the proper thing, I don't think we can use it. No, we still can't use it. I don't think. Let me put Luca and Marl back in the party and we'll see. No. Because we still have to learn all of his spells before we can even use it. Where is my amulet? There it is. I want to keep that on him at all times. Also, when you run with him, he floats. That's also pretty cool, too. Also, yes, he does look a lot more pale in the official character art. Now, if we talk to him, we can buy the Hurricane, which is going to cost us a lot of money. I'd rather get it, though. Good attack boost. I don't recall off the top of my head when we're going to get our next scythe and a scythe weapon, but there's only 4 scythes in the game. He only has 4 weapons. Dark Scythe is the default. You can buy the Hurricane here. And there's 2 more we can get elsewhere. Also, only 10,000 for this? Seriously? I want to put the mermaid cap on him. And what can I do? Yeah, his raven armor is better than anything else. But anyway. You should be... leaving. Or maybe you're not supposed to be in the party. Or maybe I just didn't wait long enough. But anyway, if you talk to him and then wait long enough, he actually walks away. And you can go back here to get a magic tab. As much as I would like to give the magic tab to somebody, I wish I would like to give it to Magus. Magus is doing real well on his own. I want to give both to Frog, just to make his magic just that little better. And we can now go back in time with Epic now, but I still want to do something else. No. We don't need to go back to North Cape. We've done everything we can there. But if you go to the commons with Magus, Alphador remembers. Well, I wouldn't say remembers, but he does recognize Magus. And if you talk to Kid, hey, mister, is this your cat? Yes! Yes, it is. There's just something familiar about Magus that causes Alphador to come running to him. Sadly, he doesn't follow you past the commons, unfortunately. And nobody says anything else. No, nobody says anything different when you go over here, unfortunately. Also, Alphador keeps meowing for as long as you are here. If only we could take Alphador with us. That way he could be with Magus forever. Sadly, he never follows you back here. Are we... Okay, yeah, we're healed up. I don't even know why I'm even worried about that. And just before we can take off, what's that? We're getting some interference from an enormous gate. It can't be. Lavos? That's... I think they're calling us. It feels like we're gonna get sucked in there. The Undersea Palace. This is impossible. And I just had to stay silent for that because that is some crazy music. Really, really good music. Okay, I can go back here and go back to the village from here. But you're probably wondering where the thing we saw is. It's right here near this gate, where we originally entered this era from. This is the Black Omen. You can fly to it right now, but we need to get a little more powerful before we go in there. I'm leaving that alone for the time being. And yes, you will hear this music again when you go in there. So anyway, now that I've mentioned the Black Omen, which will be in the same spot in every time period except for 65 million BC, one, you can obviously fly around with the D-pad, you can press A to land, and take off. Assuming you can, the game lets you land, and assuming you can also get the epic. And if you press Y, you'll pull up this screen that takes you to wherever era you wish to go. We can now go to anywhere on any of the world maps, save for 1999 AD, which doesn't have a world map, and we can go back to the end of time from anywhere without having to use a gate. So we don't have to use the gates anymore. We can just use Epic. We need to head to the end of time. And we can now disembark. And now we need to talk to the old man. Or should I say, Gaspar. Hey, where's that healthy kid with the radical haircut? This is terrible news. I have nothing to give you but this song. It's called Memories of Crono. I wish I could lend a hand. We're looking for the Guru of Time. The Guru of Time, eh? Heard of him, of course, but what do you want with him? He knows how to bring Crono back. The bring back lost loved ones is what everyone wants. Crono must be proud to have friends like you. Well, I guess he's elsewhere. Hey. Here. Take this with you. An egg. Is it a hard-boiled or 3-minute? Let us call that the Chrono trigger. It is pure potential. By unleashing a specific course of events, it can have a powerful effect on time. Ask the one who made the epic, Your Wings of Time, how to hatch it. Like any egg, it represents a possibility. It may or may not hatch. But the Chrono trigger gives you the potential to get your friend back. The egg will have an effect equal to the effort you put into your search. No more and no less. Don't forget that. As long as you keep Crono in your heart, the day you are dreaming of shall arrive. I get it. It's you, isn't it? Now that's a name I have not heard in a very long time. Of course I know him. He's me. Wait a sec. Are you Gaspar, the Guru of Time? Well, I believe that's what they used to call me ages ago. And we now have the Chrono trigger. They finally said the name of the game. And we're gonna need this to get Crono back. Now, this is one of those many times, or few times, where I mention Chris from Zadara in a Let's Play. He grew up with Final Fantasy VI, back then known as Final Fantasy III, and I grew up with this game as far as legendary Super Nintendo role-playing games go. And I feel like both games were made at the same time. So I can kind of make this analogy that I am about to make. Up until now, we were in the world of balance mode. The world of balance in Final Fantasy 3/6. But at this point, I'm just going to call it 6 because everyone calls it 6 now. That was when everything was green. Kefka hadn't wrecked the world yet, and the cataclysm involving those 3 Esper statues hadn't happened yet. Once you get the Chrono trigger, you're basically at the World of Ruin stage. At this point in the game, you could easily just go up to Lavos, beat him up, have the final boss battle, get through all that, and that's it. Of course, if we do that now, we're probably going to get destroyed. But we can still do it anyway. We don't even have to save Crono. We don't have to go back to Balthazar and see what we can do. There are side quests. We can do them now. Now that we have wings on the Epic and we can fly anywhere in any of the time periods that we want to. And I call it the World of Ruin stage because the world is already ruined. The Earth is nearly destroyed. And instead of... The only really big difference is that instead of finding everyone in the party and maybe even finding a few new people, I mentioned that I could say, well, you find Magus, but you find Magus before you get to this point. He joins your party before this point. I mean, he tells you to go see Gaspar here. And that's how you know to do this. Matter of fact, if you defeat him in battle at the North Cape, he tells you to do this before he dies. So you know for a fact that you have to do this either way. But aside from just finding Crono and getting him back instead of getting the rest of the party back, you just have all these side quests that you don't have to do. You have a boss you can fight right now. And you have the side quests that you can do right now. So you have someone to get back in the party, a bunch of side quests, and a final boss that you can fight right now. Kind of like the World of Ruin in Final Fantasy VI. And that's why I make that analogy. Whew, that was a little bit of explanation. So from here, the game is a lot more open. We can do anything we want, kind of. If it's in the game code, we can do it. Speaking of doing things, I still want to fight him. And at this point, wow. What if I put someone else in the party? Like Ayla or something. Does he change? Yeah, he turns into the blue version of Masamune. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put me. Just keep it Marluka Magus at this point. And I might as well just go ahead. Well, I've already saved the game. It's not like it's going to make that much of a difference. Might as well end it here. This is where we can do just about anything we want. But I do want to get Crono back first. We're going to need him. I hate not having him around. So we're going to do that first. And we're going to do that in the next video. So join me next time where we head back to the future. We head back to the Keeper's Dome. And we find out what we need to do from that creature that Balthazar programmed. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress, take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!